You know, at this point in its life, Survivor Series is a lot like Thanksgiving. You're stuck in a situation full of people that you're supposed to get along with but really adamantly hate, and you're just trying to patiently make it to dessert as your crazy uncle is spouting about another conspiracy he read on Facebook. But with a fresh new paint job of war games on the horizon, and that crazy uncle no longer being invited to Thanksgiving, maybe Survivor Series will be a bit better this year. Because man, this pay-per-view needs it. This is Extreme League Wrestling, and here are our dumbest Survivor Series moments. Honorable mention, the Montreal Screwjob. Look, here's my obligatory time as a wrestling YouTuber that I talk about the Montreal Screwjob. After that, everyone has literally said everything that could ever be said about this event, and we can move on. Okay, cool? Cool. While yes, Vince McMahon screwing Bret Hart out of the WWF title could be seen as dumb, at the end of the day, they really retroactively made it the smartest move that could ever be had. Because of course, without the Montreal Screwjob happening, Vince McMahon being outed as the chairman and CEO of WWE, and the Vince McMahon character never happening, who knows where in wrestling history we'd be right now. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, that's a timeline I don't want to live in. I don't like unknown things. They're scary. But this moment truly was a catalyst for the entire Attitude Era. But with that being said, Bret Hart being screwed out of the WWF Championship barely makes the list because of the historical implications of it. The Big Stinkin' Show. Poor Paul White, in the Vince McMahon era of WWE, he really was just thrown into anything to try to make it work. Of course, with it being 2013, as was the style at the time, WWE was trying to stomp out the organic growth of one Daniel Bryan. Beating John Cena for the WWE title in SummerSlam of 2013, Randy Orton then, through the help of Triple H, quickly cashed in his Money in the Bank contract, leaving Bryan without the WWE title. Hey, but that's alright, you'd figure at the next Big Four pay-per-view, Bryan's gonna get a shot back, right? Absolutely not! But of course, with the Authority storyline being the Authority storyline, we didn't get that rematch. Instead, we got a bland babyface Big Show taking on Randy Orton in a wet fart of a match. Because WWE for some reason cannot learn from its mistakes of just throwing Big Show into any title picture and hoping that it works. Of course, with WWE's style of reversionist history, this is never talked about, and we only ever talk about Daniel Bryan's rise to WrestleMania 30 and clinching the titles that he was never meant to have. And I truly hate putting this match on this list, because at the end of the day, I love me some Captain Insano. Big Show seems like a wonderful person. I just want to see him do well and stop getting thrown into crap like this. Speaking of bad title matches, Triple H versus Vladimir Kozlov. Jesus, this match is a roller coaster. A lot like the word fetch in Mean Girls, Vince kept trying to make Vladimir Kozlov a thing. Which, don't get me wrong, the strict, stern, European-style hard-nosed character has worked great for people like Walter, but Walter actually knows how to talk on the mic and move around a wrestling ring. But to get to the nitty-gritty on why this match is so bad. Well, to start out, this was originally supposed to be a triple threat involving Jeff Hardy, until for kayfabe reasons, WWE officials stated that Jeff Hardy was found unconscious in his hotel room. Man oh man, that storyline aged like expired milk that you accidentally bought at the store. The match then turns into a singles match which has about as much personality as a loaf of bread. Then, Vicky Guerrero comes out mid-match to announce that it is going to be a triple threat, and Edge returns. Then, Jeff Hardy comes out to attack Edge, who, wait, weren't you unconscious in your hotel room? Why couldn't he be in this match? He seems fine. I mean, sure, it has a fine enough ending with Edge ending up with the title in the end, but man, it was a long, lumbering road to get here. Unfortunately, Vladimir Kozlov's main event push then died soon after this, but he entered a very interesting comedy angle with Santino Marella and Beth Phoenix, so things worked out for him in the end, I guess. Fun fact, this Survivor Series was voted by the Wrestling Observer to be the worst pay-per-view of the year, and also the Jeff Hardy passed out in his hotel room angle won the most disgusting promotional tactic. I didn't even know that was an award. The gobbledygooker. I mean, listen, I can defend wrestling, but they put Hector Guerrero in a turkey outfit and had him hatch from an egg during Survivor Series 1990. Who is running this place? Team Jerry Lawler versus Team Doink. Alright, so here's the thing. Many mainstream wrestling outlets don't cover little people's wrestling. Even though I don't think it's too much of a hot take to say this, little people's wrestling is still extremely entertaining. They are still athletes, and they put on great matches. Legitimately, Hornswoggle is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. If you ever do have the chance to go and see a Little People's Wrestling show, please do it because they're wonderful people and they put on a great show. Now, when it does come to Little People's Wrestling in the mainstream, let's just say people like WWE don't have a great track record when it comes to respectfulness. And it definitely doesn't get better with the Survivor Series match between Team Doink and Team Jerry Lawler, where the joke is that they're teaming up with a bunch of little people. And to think, Jerry Lawler, a man of such fine taste. Look, at the end of the day, it comes across as a little gross, and it's definitely a thing of its era. Let's just leave it in the past. Speaking of poor taste, Vince McMahon says the N-word. Yup, he says it. After saying what's up to John Cena, giving him some knuckles, and he calls him that right in front of Booker T and Sharmell. And it's kind of unsettling that they just kind of try to play it for laughs. Vince McMahon is the literal human embodiment of in the bed, and you know what? I'm glad he's gone. And finally, brand supremacy bullshit. Okay, let's say for example, you're a big fan of Denny's, and once a year, each Denny's goes head to head to see which is the better Denny's. Now, does that sound stupid? Look, at the end of the day, Survivor Series hit a certain point to where the brand supremacy thing was dead in the ground. But, much like the reanimated corpse of The Undertaker, they trotted that thing out once a year, by God. I mean, sure, the brand supremacy idea was rejuvenated whenever NXT became a part of Survivor Series, but that happened like, what, once? And at the end of the day, it's just for bragging rights? Damn, have the winning team get the last 5 spots in the Royal Rumble and the first team get the first 5 spots or something like that. Sure, we had some fun stuff during this time frame, like the Shield reuniting for a brief moment, and the Wyatt family as a whole getting the win for SmackDown, before that whole storyline went straight into the bin. And even then, this wouldn't really matter, because within a few months, they're all gonna be on separate shows anyway. Why do you care this much? Why do you care Red Team versus Blue Team nonsense? Look, I think the wider wrestling world can agree that Survivor Series needs a shot in the arm, and I really hope War Games does that, and I hope the Triple H era sees the rise to prominence of Survivor Series once again. And heck, much like Real Thanksgiving, I've had my fill, I've put up with this BS, I'm ready to go home, get drunk, and complain about you all until next year. Thank you guys so much for watching Extreme League Wrestling. What do you think is the dumbest Survivor Series moment of all time? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social medias. This has been Extreme League Wrestling, and we'll catch you next time.